Howdy howdy, my name is John and this video is my February 2021 wrap-up. The first book I finished in February was Shadow's Linger by Glen. This is the second book in the Black Company series. The book I'm holding is actually a bind-up of the first three in the series. I enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. I found this a much easier reading experience than I found the first one. This book introduces a new character, Marin Shed, and I really enjoyed watching his character development. There are definitely some dark deeds done in this book. The next book I finished was Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. This book had a really slow start, but once things started to pick up, I really enjoyed this. I have a few other minor issues with the book, but overall I gave it 4 stars. In March, I'm going to read the sequel to this book called Parable of the Talons. This is a 2-book series. The next book I finished was Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. The copy I have is the 3rd edition, and I think the current edition is the 5th edition. Dr. Sowell has a PhD in economics, and in this book he tries to take economics and put it into everyday language. This is a pretty thick book, and it covers a lot of territory. It tries to be broad, but at the expense of depth. It doesn't really cover things very deeply. One thing to know about this book is it is pro-free market economics, and he tries to illustrate why free market economics is superior to other forms of economics. Dr. Sowell uses the following as a definition of economics. Economics is the study of the use of scarce resources which have alternate uses. Dr. Sowell will then repeat this phrase over and over throughout the book to illustrate his points. I gave this book 5 stars. I think it's one of the books that everybody should read because economics affects every one of our lives. And if you happen to live in a country where you're allowed to vote for your political leaders, they have the power to affect economics. There is an hour-long documentary about Dr. Sowell that was recently released, and I'll link it in the description below if you'd like some more information about Dr. Sowell. The next book is Skeleton Key by Piers Anthony. This is the 44th book in the Xanth series. Anthony has published one in this series roughly every year since 1977. I've done a full review for this, so if you're interested in that, I'll link it in the description below. I really enjoyed this one. There is a long stretch in the Xanth series where the formula tends to get stale. This is an example of Anthony at his finest, at least in my opinion. I really enjoyed the story in this one. I had a big grin on my face the entire time I was reading it. And I really liked the ending of this one as well. I don't know if it was a deliberate false step, but there's a little bit of a false step right before the ending. But at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this one. Xanth is my favorite all-time series, and it's brought me a lot of joy over the years. The next book I finished was Nemesis by Isaac Asimov. I really enjoyed this one too. I gave it 4 stars and was tempted to give it 5. But there are a few minor issues that I had with it. There is a note at the beginning of the story that this does not connect with any of his major series, namely his Robot, his Empire, or his Foundation series, but it's written in such a way that it could easily fit in that expanded universe. At its heart, it's a family drama set in outer space, the family being a man, his wife, and their daughter. Don't want to say too much more about it because really this is a story that's best explored going in blind and finding out the story as you read it. The last book I finished in February was Othello by William Shakespeare. I've had a good run of stories that I enjoyed, and I finally got to one that I did not. Not read Shakespeare since high school, and really Shakespeare just isn't for me. I gave this one 2 stars. And honestly, the only reason I didn't give it 1 star is because I do realize this was written 400 years ago, so there's some disconnect there. And also, William Shakespeare is an important figure in English literature. It's just, I didn't really care for the story. I found it bloated and boring. This edition, however, is really good. It has a lot of good background information, and it actually includes the short story that the play is based on. I actually enjoyed the short story fairly good. I probably would have given the short story 3 stars. And really, it's about 14 pages, and it's honestly about the right length for the story that is told. I'm still in the middle of the Soulforge. This is a buddy read with 2 real-life friends of mine. And we're not quite getting the chapter of a day that I was earlier. The new friend that we've added is very busy. He's self-employed, so he doesn't always have time to discuss the book. So we're slowly making our way through the book. I'm enjoying this one. And then I'm still making my way through the Divine Comedy with Tom L.A. Books. Just finished the 20th canto in Inferno, and he's releasing a video at least one a week. So still plenty of time if you're interested to join with this read-along. Tom's doing a really good job of kind of giving explanation to the canto. Each video he does is about 20 to 30 minutes long for each canto. If you're new to the channel, my mom used to love to grow flowers, and when she became unable to take care of them, I took over that job. And so at the end of the month, when I have flowers to show, I like to show them off. And I actually have a couple of pictures this month to show you. Finally, I want to end with kind of a channel update. Since about the end of December, making videos stopped being fun for me. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't released very many since then. I've decided that the best thing for me is to take the month of March off from BookTube. Basically, a couple of days after I post this video, I'm going to log out of my account and I'm going to take the rest of the month off to do other things. I am planning on doing a March wrap-up video, so hopefully I will rejoin the community then. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.